Alright, we're here for the bonus episode.
Woohoo!
There's a decent number of matchups here. I don't know how many exactly, but there's a good number.
Yeah, I think it's still less than regular
Yeah, it'll
episodes.
be less, just, I think this one hits 29 pages purely because some of them have decent length in terms of the connections we've added to help us talk
Oh
about them.
yeah, yeah, it's long.
Right then, I guess we'll head straight into it. Starting off with Spampton versus Thoughtful.
And this one is really good.
Yeah,
I'd say the best for both.
yeah, I think it's very good. I don't have a lot of experience with Thoughtful. I played Superstar Saga, or at least some of it, so I get it.
I played Bowser's Inside Story. That's how I know the guy. I unfortunately couldn't make it to the end of the game because that damn carrot crunching challenge.
I've not played that one.
Oh,
Yeah, you have to press on the carrots and you have to crunch them as fast as they can, and well, I don't have the reaction timing to do that.
Damn.
huh.
What does Fallfall have? What does Fallfall have to bounce off of Spamton's Neo form?
I think he has mechs.
Yeah, I believe he
What
has that. He has a bunch of mechs and robots and stuff.
mix?
Yeah,
So he's like a Mario version of Eggman.
No.
that's Bowser.
A little bit. Okay. Seems decent enough. I think this can be like a fun script to write for the crew if they were to ever do this.
Yeah.
They'd like to write this. I think they've said that.
Oh, that would be that's nice to hear.
Yeah. Oh, and just to, we didn't say this at the start, but this is just mostly what? Honorable mentions that were missed in the past couple episodes, I guess.
Yeah. Like we've somehow missed Freddy Fazbear.
Speaking of Freddy, that's our next one. Freddy Fazbear versus Sachiko Shinozaki.
I
From
have
Corpse Party.
I have no experience with Corpse Party, so I can't really have a say on this matchup.
I think this is the one that was like the most debatable.
Yeah, and from these short little connections, yeah, I get it. I still think
What
there's better FNAF matchups, like my favorite one being Glamrock Freddy versus Sully from Monsters Inc.
foreshadowing?
Yeah, I think that one does prop up later with a thumbnail for me.
What can Sachiko do to Freddy in a
I
fight?
have
Like,
no idea because I have
I
never played Corpse Party.
I don't know. I'm not really a Corpse Party, but I mean, there's the benefits of being a ghost. So
True.
yeah, but
I mean,
like there's also
hold on,
Ghosts and FNAF are kind of, they're kind of wacky themselves.
let me look this up.
FNAF
Let's
FNAF has a
just-
really very screwy lore implications for spirits.
All right, let's look at the versus Val wiki here. Let's see what they got. Let's see. Immortality, curse manipulation, statistics amplification, death manipulation,
Oh,
shapeshifting, flight, pocket reality manipulation,
okay. Everything I'm
stats effect.
hearing here seems like Sachiko just has the advantage.
Except for death
Maybe it's
manipulation, how the hell can she do that to someone that's already dead?
Right,
fire.
but she's also got curse manipulation, and that's kind of what the animatronics whole thing is.
Maybe if you composite Freddy, because I think this might be a stat versus patch thing.
I think, like, can she physically be killed? Like,
No idea.
Uh, it says types 1, 2, and 7 for immortality.
I mean, as far as thematics go, it seems fine.
from
The
the
issue is
sound of it,
in.
it sounds like Sachiko should fight like someone around her power range. Like Freddy's pretty much like a stat brick.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the thing. Freddy has the stat advantage, I think, if you composite, I guess.
I think the problem is he can't really kill Sachiko.
Well, thematics are good, but dynamic and everything else is kind of lacking. Or maybe it's
I
not.
think
It's just because we don't know anything about Corpse Party.
Yeah, versus Battle Wiki can
From
mess
the
things
sound
up.
of it, from the sound of it, sounds like you have to like composite Freddy in order to stand a chance against Sachiko.
Well, if you composite Freddy, he definitely takes the stats because he gets universal.
Well, it's not just universal; it's also passive resistance to plot manipulation from FNAF World.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. So we can.
Oh, hey, look, it's Peak.
Oh, I like this one.
Speaking of a stat brick, we've got
Stat brick the fight.
Frankenstein's monster versus Freddy Fazbear.
Oh, I like this one.
Which,
I was thinking about
when I first heard of this months ago, I was like, my thoughts was, why? But
yeah.
it seems really popular for some reason, and I've just never really got it.
I mean, I think it's more like the tragedy surrounding both characters and the situation they were put in. Like one is a guy made out of undead parts. The other one is basically an undead child stuck inside of a animatronic suit.
You got the connections right there.
They also
Yeah, I'm reading through 'em.
I think in the movie they kind of like Frankenstein kind of like somewhat perishes by fire.
I believe there is a fire connection.
Yeah,
There is fire.
and I think animation wise, it kind of just like they're kind of like throwing hands at with each other or something.
Honestly, if all these connections are, as on point as they seem to be, this seems really good.
Yeah, like you don't even have to composite Frank or Freddy for that matter for this fight to work. You can just use the base characters from the novels and the movies. And also they're both connected to Universal anyway, especially with the new FNAF movie that came out.
Well, that was, I think,
Yeah.
if I had to pick any
Anyways.
matchup for Freddy himself, that would probably be it, especially because you get to bring in Frankenstein, one of the
Biggest popular
What is
monsters in fiction.
Yeah.
Frankenstein's monster, yeah.
The track will go hard.
It would, yeah.
All right, Gilded, I'll let
I'm
you introduce.
I'm
I'll let
thinking
you
of
introduce
ordering
the
that.
next one, just because I'm pretty sure you're a big fan.
Okay.
Azrael Dreamer versus Gygas. Undertale versus Earthbound. Not only is this the best Undertale versus Earthbound matchup in my opinion, but it's the second best Earthbound matchup, period.
Damn.
Is it
In
even
my opinion.
debatable?
That's some high
Is it
praise.
debatable?
It is depending on what you give them, I guess.
Give them everything that you would expect to have in a final confrontation.
I know Earthbound has something with mind hacks and such. Like I don't know if
So
Azrael can
put both of them
like
at their peak, basically.
resist that.
Gilded, is it debatable?
At their
Gygas
peak,
would be universal, but also he'd be the embodiment of evil itself.
so like conceptual manipulation, right?
I
He would have
guess?
to he would have to like erase Gygas from everywhere as a
What
concept itself.
he's basically the embodiment of evil. And from my understanding, the only way they managed to beat him is
Was by
because
praying.
they pray. Yeah, they prayed and it reached through the screen and hit the player itself.
Damn.
So the player prayed and it erased Gygas.
I think it's also like I'm personally of the opinion that simply time wiping Gygas wouldn't kill him because what Azrael was doing by the end of the game is also by technicality a form of evil.
A quote, a quote just came to my head, where I remember, I don't know the exact thing, but apparently, Toby Fox once said, "If you play Mother 3, you'll see how unoriginal he is."
Yeah, I told you that quote.
Right, yeah, okay. Sorry, it's been a while, so I couldn't remember where I heard it. I just remember hearing it.
Unoriginal Toby Fox's or unoriginal Gygas's?
Well,
that's what Toby Fox said himself.
That apparently Undertale story is just taking
Mother 3.
heavily from Mother 3.
Mother 3 does have one of the best stories in the games.
I wonder how
I
the
guess
fight
he's
would
kind of
actually
lucky that
look
they
like
never
and from an
localized
animation
it, which
potential.
let him just have Undertale be its own original thing without anybody really realizing it.
I think the way for Azrael versus Gygas could go, kind of a similar situation to Magneto versus Tetsuo. Like you have Gygas start in his Mother 1 design, and then he eventually becomes the design from Earthbound.
Depending on how you view
And
the victor, it could go
and if
either way technically.
and if Azrael wins, it could be a mercy kill,
Hmm.
I mean, that is if
which would
Azrael
Well,
fit.
wins.
sounds really great. I mean, if it can work as a fight, sounds amazing.
How
It's
how
it's the second best Gygas matchup.
how would Gygas fight Azrael in this red cloudy form, like animation
Well,
wise? Is he
Ooh,
like surrounding him or something?
yeah, that would be a question. How would you animate it?
Like a Zamasu looking sequence?
yeah, he basically becomes that, and he's launching off psychic attacks.
Hmm. All right.
The
That's good.
unfathomable psychic attacks, mind you, but we can figure out what they are based off the properties.
Right. Well,
Okay.
from one Asheville matchup to another, Gilded, if you would.
This one, I don't even remember this one. Homura versus Azrael. Now, this is the one I've always heard for Azrael. I don't think we got the full connections for this because I remember there being more, but I prefer Gygas now. You know,
I have no knowledge
Plus,
on
I've seen.
Toho
I think I've seen a
for to
better
give
idea for
comment on this.
Homura, or at least maybe a few. I don't know. But there's
I
other ideas for
think
Homura
part
which
of
are
it.
probably better. Plus, like you said, Ariel versus Gygas just seems fucking perfect.
Azrael versus Gygas is like a cosmic horror
S
event
tier
at
matchup
the end
right
of the
there.
day.
Just
Azrael versus Gygas
straight
focuses
S
on the
tier.
tragedy of the two.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I will tell you, I think it's the second best Gygas matchup.
If I ever had
The other
like
one
$200-300,
is Lavos, I think.
Yeah, Gygas versus
Yeah, which
Lavos is the
is
best for
Chrono
me
Trigger.
because
from Dragon Quest.
Chrono Trigger.
yeah, Chrono
That's it,
Trigger.
Chrono Trigger. I always confuse Dragon Quest and
It's fair.
Chrono Trigger. They're
It's the
both
same
made
art
by Akira
style, so
Toriyama.
yeah.
While Gygas versus Azrael focuses on the tragedy, Gygas versus Lavos goes all in on the cosmic horror these two are. And with
Homura versus
Azrael
Azrael
versus
seems
Homura,
kind of
pretty cool.
it. Yeah, it seems alright.
I think a part of it is that they're both immortal or something like that. Or at least Azrael is in his god
Yeah,
form.
yeah, and time manipulation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Reality
I think it's also
warpers.
because Toho and Undertale had sort of a
That's not
Yeah,
Toho.
that's not
rivalry.
Toho. That's
Toho.
the
Who is it?
Cruella
Oh,
Magi Madoka
I
Magica.
keep
It's the
like I said,
magical girl
I don't
anime
know
that
any of
gets
these
really
things.
fucked.
Yeah, I don't really know any of these things. That's why I kept saying Toho because I just assumed
She
it was
does
a Toho
have.
matchup. I remember there being a
Does
Toho
she have it?
matchup for Azrael, but maybe that could just be me
Oh,
misremembering.
yeah, maybe he does. I think it
Oh,
was.
Marissa,
Yeah,
I
Marissa.
think.
That's it.
Yeah.
Holy shit, it's pink.
This
No
one,
way.
I've seen this
This one
crop
is
up
peak.
quite a few times, and
This
It's
one is
pink.
peak.
it does just seem hilarious.
This one will bring in 1 million jumbillion views.
It would probably bring in so many views. For anyone that doesn't know what we're talking about, it's Huggy Wuggy versus Jumbo Josh. And if you're in this community, I think you probably will have seen this at some point. Somehow.
More
Holy
like
fuck.
more like Midi Wiggy versus Outer Jumbo Josh.
Jumbo
Infinite
Josh,
energy.
win.
Jumbo Josh has infinite energy, therefore he is like transcends infinite dimensions since they have infinite energy and thusly it's outerversal.
Oh my god.
I would if this ever got done on a versus show, I think you'd have to take the analysis sections and just go full memes with them.
Like straight up
Just go
brain
all
rot
in on the joke.
fight. Full on brain rot the fight. It's hilarious.
Alright, let's move off of peak for a freeway matchup that's kinda
Decent.
yeah, it's decent. But I think I remember
I mean,
Gilded, you
I
and I we
prefer
talked
it
about
being
it would have been
okay.
better as just Sammy versus Vanny.
Yeah, I was gonna say that
Yeah.
actually. I don't
Yeah.
get why
I
Catnip
The
is
third
remember.
member in this for everybody is Catnap from Poppy Playtime, and we all think, I think most of us would agree that Sammy versus Vanny is just a better idea.
Yeah, it is just a. Yeah, it's just a. I don't even know why Catnap is there. Like, no offense, but why is he there?
Yeah, it's
Like,
not.
who
The
invited
idea isn't
him?
horrible. It's just
You know what? I just remembered
why
another
have the
matchup
third one
idea.
in there?
There's this other matchup I just remembered.
Go on.
It's not. It's kind of related. But who was the protagonist of the first Bendy game again?
There's Bendy game.
Henry.
No, it's the girl, right?
Henry.
Henry. Yeah.
I think. Yeah. First
And-
Bendy game, Henry.
No, isn't it the girl?
No,
That's the
that was the
second Bendy
second.
game.
That's the
Oh.
second one. That was Audrey.
Right.
Henry's the OG.
Okay.
I remember people not really liking this one because there's literally no fight potential, but it has connections. Henry from Bendy 1 versus Michael Afton.
Oh yeah, the people who took the brunt of
All right.
the guys who created monsters.
Also, it's funny because Michael knows Henry.
Oh yeah, he knows about Henry. He knows Henry Emily.
Oh, were you really?
Yeah. Yeah, FNAF 6.
Huh.
They
I don't
work
even.
together
I
to
think.
burn everything.
How would Sammy versus Vanny go as a fight? Like, would it just be shadows and mirrors or something?
I honestly don't know.
Knife versus axe, right?
I think so.
I don't know if this would be considered a ability, but if I remember correctly, Vanny, if she approaches you, your vision starts glitching or something like that, like
Yeah.
distorting.
Yeah,
Maybe that could play a part.
that can be a part. I think also like I recall Sammy being able to like summon or conjure up lost souls or something,
Hmm.
like those ink people that can attack.
Cool. All right.
Anyways, it's Nuke's favorite matchup.
Well, my favorite FNAF matchup.
Well, yo, yeah.
Yeah, I think I had a hand in helping pushing this one way like 2 years ago. I think 2 or a year ago.
Cool.
Scully versus Glamrock Freddy.
I do just think it is
There was a blog about this.
a really good
It's,
idea.
it's peak.
I think Glamrock Freddy probably wins because I remember talking about a feat for Sully that once it got debunked, it was pretty much a Freddy win.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
I think it was.
It was a
I think
Monsters
there was.
University feat. Yeah, it was like he was roaring and a door was breaking or something, or something was breaking and it got debunked. I don't remember exactly, but I just remember a feat being debunked.
I think the premise of this fight could be that Sully went through the wrong door and is at like a birthday party, and Glamrock Freddy's kind of like trying to get him out or something, or sees him as a threat.
Or, well, the more simple setup is just that Sully goes through a door, it opens up into the Pizzaplex.
Oh yeah, I think that can work
He
too.
attempts to scare Gregory, I guess, and Freddy comes in for the defend.
Imagine opening a door and ending up in Five Nights at Freddy's.
That would be a nightmare. No kidding.
Or he's just
Literally depending on
Sully's
which
just
one.
walking around. And
I remember I made
happens, I don't
shitty
know.
sprite matchup art of it, and I basically had Glamour Freddy with the purple eyes, like as if he got taken over by Burn Trap.
Yeah, I think that did
I
happen.
don't know.
Still, I think this one is very good.
Yeah, it really goes in deep with the characters.
All right, moving on.
And this one is
Bendy
oh god,
versus
remember
Huggy
when? Oh god.
All right, I see it.
Ow.
it. I don't think it's.
I don't think there's much
I mean, when you're
to
going
be
up
had
against
with
the
Huggy
peak
Wuggy, but
that is Huggy Wuggy's other matchup, it's like it's very hard to compete with that.
I
Plus,
think Jumbo
Bendy's got
Joss
more
is
than
just.
enough. matchups to go to before
I
this.
think Jumbo Josh kind of like if you put these three in a three-way, I think Jumbo Josh would just fold both of them in a fight.
Three-way.
Yeah, like 3-1 versus the other, and they just throw hands. Whoever wins is just
Oh.
one guy.
All right, well, we can move on pretty quickly from that one because there's not much to say about it apart from being
Yeah.
alright, but it's got stiff competition.
Yeah, you cannot beat Jumbo
Ooh, this
Josh.
one's really good.
Here we've got the Batter from Off versus Makima from Chainsaw Man. We have an insanely cool thumbnail. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Almost analog horror-esque, like thumbnail.
You gotta know
I
there's
like
a
how it.
DC analog horror now.
I don't. What?
There's a DC analog horror now.
These.
Huh.
Oh yeah, the Batman one.
Yeah. But I say DC because there's also that Superman episode that he did.
I thought when you said DC, my mind instantly went to Monument Mythos and Richard Nixon. Dwight Comics.
Oh, yeah. I think that might be in here somewhere.
I think there was one in there. I'm
But,
not really a
yeah.
fan of that one, but yeah.
But, Makima versus the Batter, Puppeteer versus Puppet, really good.
How would the fight dynamic between the two go? Like in the animation.
Ah, I haven't played Off in a long time, and I only got to the second world, so I could not tell you.
Oh.
I think that he's supposed to be getting rid of curses.
Hmm.
Maybe he's trying to. I don't know. Maybe he's just trying to kill Makima. I don't know.
He's all about purification. Makima is like the most unpure being he has seen in the fight.
Yeah, she's a demon.
Well, obviously, he's doing Gojo's job again.
Yeah.
Except he's beating a woman with a bat.
Very interesting
Nice.
idea, and I like it.
Look, it's neat.
This is Necro's second favorite for Makima, and I can see why.
Mm-hmm.
I think my favorite from Makima might be Alucard from Hellsing.
My favorite is Toru or the Wonder of You.
That's another good one.
I don't really have a favorite from Makima that isn't Gojo at the moment. I heard there was a joke matchup with Princess Bubblegum versus Makima.
Calling that
That
a
was
joke isn't
Well,
exactly right because there are some
I
legitimate links
they're
there.
pretty much pretty much
could
the same
probably work.
person somewhat.
Yeah.
I
It's kinda
remember seeing. I think
starting as a joke
didn't
kind
an,
of turned into a proper thing.
didn't an
I
official artist on Adventure Time draw Bubblegum as Makima.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
they done that before. I think a track matchup name for that one would be Saccharin Synergy. Okay, and now
Anyway,
for
Gilded,
Look, we can just skip
introduce
this
this
one
next
here.
one for me.
This is Tinky Winky versus Al Oni. Sledney Tubbies versus Al Oni.
kind
Yeah,
of.
like the first time we talked about this, I said I had no idea who these two were, and you got annoyed that I didn't know who Ao Oni was.
Ao Oni is like the only thing that I remember of Ao Oni was like those YouTube thumbnails of top 10 most creepiest whatevers on YouTube or in history, and it shows this purple guy on the side.
He has multiple. He has a game. I think a mobile game. Movies. Two movies. I think one of them was live action too. So
Huh.
I think there's an animated movie where they do some with flowers. I don't know.
Is it good, Gilded? Is it decent? That's an idea.
How am I supposed to? Uh, it seems mid.
All right. Let's move on to Ben 10 versus the last son of Alcatraz, but specifically Carnatrix Ben, who
Carnatrix is a good idea. Just
yeah,
this matchup itself seems good, so
I know the only other
Matchup.
Carnatrix Ben matchup I'm aware of right now is Yellow Green
What
Lantern,
if
and I'm pretty sure Origin is making an animation for it, which would be pretty cool to see.
what
uh-huh.
what if Carnatrix is just fighting Parallax Hal?
That would also be
That would be
an interesting
that
one.
would be that would be fitting, but it will also be funny because technically he would just boot smash him again.
Oh no! They in the animation that Origin made, a preview they showed, he dodged the boot.
Nice.
It's not my favorite matchup for the Last Son, though. My favorite one would be Shinji from Eva.
Yeah, I've seen that
While we're
one
talking
thrown around a
about,
few times.
while we are talking about Monument Mythos slash Nixon verse, Dr. Manhattan versus Richard Nixon.
Yeah, that's
I
I
like
think
that one.
the Monument Mythos matchup that gets thrown around.
Yeah, I think
Has a lot of
Yeah.
it
support
even
behind it.
got
Has a lot of support behind it. So
it,
yeah, I mean,
it even
if it can
got
be
Ben to watch.
done, sure, I'd love to see it.
Uh, sorry, it even got Ben Singer to watch Monument Mythos.
Oh, nice. All right,
Yeah.
Gilded.
I think.
We'll
Oh
move on,
boy,
and this is one that I'm pretty sure you probably helped make.
I was helping look for more cave story matchups, and the person here, Necrostar, came out with this on the fly basically, and it is Balos versus the Enchantress, cave story versus Shovel Knight,
So,
and you can read the connections there.
you want to run us through it, Gilded? Just how it came about. Like you said, you were just looking for matchups.
Yeah, we were basically looking for more cave story matchups because at the time there was like only four good ones that I could think of, and two of them were for quotes. Actually, no, three. I could only think of three at the time, and like I said, two of them were for quote. And so, in the quote versus reg thread on the official Deathfile server, we started to discuss other cave story ideas, and this was the first one that got made.
All right, seems pretty good.
Enchantress wins, by the way.
All right.
Nice.
And speaking of quote versus rag, we have another cave story versus Maiden Abyss matchup here. You
The
say it
Doctor
'cause-
versus Bondrewd.
yeah.
I have no opinion on Maiden Abyss and Cave Story, so I'll let you two get
I'm
into
gonna
this one.
let Gilded take it because he's
Now,
been
this
on it.
one, it's basically a worse quote versus reg,
Right.
and the Doctor has no chance in hell of winning
All right.
because Bondrewd is fucking ridiculous.
All right.
And this is not my favorite matchup for Bondrewd. You'll see it later on,
All right.
but I'll just leave you in suspense for now.
All right. We'll move quickly on then to Gino versus Red from something called Everhood.
I think that this does have a track, and at the time the track came out, not only was a Super Mario RPG remake announced, but also Everhood 2.
Oh, cool.
If the thumbnail didn't give it away, Red's design was based off of Gino.
Yeah. Yeah, very much looks exactly like.
But if you,
Or at least,
but you can also read the connections there, and yeah.
Yeah, it seems pretty good.
Sanchez, you want to say anything?
Uh, I don't really have anything to say. Sorry if I'm not as talkative at the moment. I
It's
just
fine.
got up.
No, you're fine. And all right,
Anyways,
these
not
next.
With Red being the directly inspired by Gino, this makes sense. Anyway, moving on.
This
We've got a very
sets of matchups.
we got a pretty well known idea, which I don't like.
Yeah, I don't like it that much either. It makes sense,
I get why it
but
exists.
it may be less of a stomp since I think Pico should scale to Hank.
It is just like the two biggest Newgrounds characters in Pico and Hank.
It's the Crash versus Spyro
Well,
of Newgrounds.
When you think Newgrounds,
kinda, yeah.
these two kind of just come to
Well,
mind.
Well, I think the Crash versus Spyro of Newgrounds would be Pico versus Tankman.
I could see that too.
Uh,
Tankman's the mascot,
yeah,
but
Yeah, Pico was the original mascot.
Eggman's like
I
the original
think
mascot, I think.
more
Yeah.
people would just know Hank than either of them in the wider
Yeah,
sphere.
Yeah, I've seen a resurgence in Madness Combat as of recently.
Madness Combat is a good series.
I like the idea of Hank versus Doomslayer. I think there's something cool you can do there.
Yeah,
I
you
think
can
it could
definitely
be
do
good as
something
a
there.
DBX. It could be cool as a DBX, in my opinion.
I'd kind of like to see it explored as a full-on researched episode.
Yeah,
Just
that
given
can be good
Yeah.
too.
where Madness Combat starts getting crazy shit.
I'm personally more of a fan of Doomslayer versus Rick Taylor from Splatterhouse, but I wouldn't be too mad if Hank was chosen
I could
over
see
that
it.
one.
I kind of like Doomslayer versus Spawn.
That one's good. As long as it's not Doomslayer versus Master Chief, I don't care who. I don't care which of the
Yeah, not
really
even
good
Death Vow
Doomslayer
likes that
ideas.
one.
I feel like that's
I will
more of an
die on the hill
inevitability.
that Doomslayer versus Chief as a rematch,
No one
as a second
gonna be real.
episode
Does anyone
makes no sense.
gonna
Everything
be
you
real?
want from
Does
it can be achieved through
sorry.
other matchups.
Okay, gonna be real. Does anyone really want to see Chief's head like splattered open
There are people who
with a
want the
punch from the Doomslayer?
rematch. I just think
Yeah,
it's
there's people who want the
pointless.
rematch.
I feel like I think Master Doom is more of a inevitability at this point due to how
I really don't want
much
it.
people want it.
Actually, the Death Vow crew don't like it
Which
Oh yeah, how
I have
come?
it here,
because it's too much of a stomp in the Slayer's favor.
but they also don't seem to like the clear favorite for Chief in Chief versus Commander Shepard, my personal #1 favorite matchup.
I
I
like
don't
that
know. I
one.
don't think
think
I've really
they
seen him
don't
solid on it.
see how Chief contends with biotics.
I think for the Doomslayer, for me, Rick Taylor is like the most fitting. Like if anyone had the time to look through Splatterhouse, it's pretty much like the Asura's Wrath of. It's like the Asura's Wrath to the Doomslayer's Kratos, basically. Like a lot of crazy visuals, and to top it all off, Rick Taylor also uses a chainsaw, a shotgun, and his bare hands to brutalize enemies, similar to the Doomslayer.
All right,
And their origins and kind of similar.
we got on a bit of a tangent there. I'll probably
Yeah, sorry.
it's fine. We're casually talking.
Okay.
Moving back to Pico, we have another one here, which, despite the fact that I'm pretty sure Pico just wins this, thematically, I get this a lot.
It's Pico's best thematically, but it has the problem of Phil unable to fight.
Yep, Pico versus Phil Eggtree from the Riddle School series, who is just a guy in a escape room type game.
I think he got sent to space once.
He did. The funniest part, right, is that when you get to the final Riddle School game, everything that's happened beforehand has just been a dream. So if you wanted to get feats and stuff for Phil, you could literally only take stuff from like the last game.
So it's like a Garfield versus Snoopy situation where the other guy's just all in imagination, the other guy just does it.
Wait, Snoopy's imagination?
I remember people. I remember some people having contentions with Garfield versus Snoopy was because most of Snoopy's stuff was kind of like in his head or in his imagination, like the
Huh.
plane, the World War II stuff,
I did not know
and the
that.
like. and I'm comparing it to Garfield versus Snoopy because all of Phil's feet are pretty much like all on his head and not real.
So
Which
Phil definitely loses, but I mean, if you probably do something neat with the matchup. Next
I
we've
mean,
got
there can be.
another, well, kind of like a set of two Pico matchups here.
I'm
Because
just
we've
gonna
got
say
a
before you
one.
say it,
Yeah, go on.
but if you can't tell, we planned on recording this on Pico Day, but some things happened.
Yeah,
A lot of things happened.
Controversial things happened.
So we've got Pico versus number 4 from Codename Kids Next Door, in conjunction
And
with Pico, Darnell, and Nene. Is that how you say it?
yeah, no.
Versus the
I like.
entire Kids Next Door. Well, the main 5.
I couldn't find the connections list, but it vibes. You gotta admit, it
Yeah, I'll
vibes.
give it to you.
It
It does.
it it
Especially if
vibes
you
for
use the
me.
original Pico style.
It vibes for me, but I think it's not really a drawback. But my main concern is like, do I really want to see number 4 like get his head shot by an actual bullet or
Well,
something?
Well, that's if he loses.
I would honestly bet on the Kids Next Door beating Pico.
They
I would
should
on
outstat, right?
even if Pico has, guns. Kids Next Door aren't, slacking in the power.
Action and the action
honestly,
sequences.
I think it could mainly depend on if you buy Pico getting Hank scaling.
Plus, I mean, the Kids Next Door have fucking battle airship type shit.
Yeah. Also, a Pico versus number 4 vibes, especially because it's a regular gun versus a mustard gun. What's not to love about that?
It would probably make for a
It's
really
like
nice animation of just the two of them going up against each other.
Yeah, and if you go with the like I don't remember their name, but it's like Mine something. If you go with that art style for Pico and the gang, it would fit perfectly.
Hmm. Oh, and
Like
what if they
one
what
extra
if they
note.
just draw?
Operation
Oh,
Graduates is one of the best Flash games I've ever played. I played that thing so much, and I think I might have the world record for the score in it.
what's the score?
I will look that up.
This is the art style I was talking about. This art
Oh yeah,
style.
no, I can. That makes sense. Yeah, there's a.
I think I'd vibe perfectly with the Kids Next Door art style.
Yeah, just draw Pico in the Kids Next Door art style.
Or like the art style I just posted. The mind guy, I forgot his name.
Sorry, I can't really exit this stream
Oh no, you're
right
fine.
here. Hold up, let me check. Oh yeah, that one, the original art style, I think.
That's just the one after the guy who started drawing Pico after Tom Volt.
Oh yeah. Should
Let me look this up real quick.
should Pico versus number 4 or Pico and the rest
Pico
versus?
and his gang. I prefer Pico and his gang versus the Kids Next Door.
Yeah, there I am.
Would it be like 2D sprite? Would it be 2D hand drawn with 3D background or something?
I say hand drawn because that would
Yeah,
fit
I think
That'll
best.
fit. Anyway, yeah, I
especially since
do
Newgrounds
currently
has and
have the highest recorded score on Operation Graduates at 72,800 points.
Jesus
Wow.
Christ.
World record holder, baby. You're all welcome to try and beat my score. I've got it registered on the Flashpoint leaderboard.
Why should I beat your score? Why should I beat your score? Oh shit, I forgot what I was gonna say. Your score was just that high. I cannot beat it at all.
Well, it was more, you're welcome to try.
Sorry, I have no resistance. I have no resistance to high score manipulation.
Oh, look at that. We've hit the bottom of the list, and it's what I believe is Gilded's favorite matchup for Bondhood.
It is
And not
definitely
only
his
that,
favorite matchup. Come
not
on,
only
crack
that,
your
but
knuckles.
not only that is my second favorite for Springtrap in at all.
All right,
So yeah,
go
crack
on
your
ahead.
knuckles, crack your
Springtrap
head, dress up.
Springtrap versus Bondru. You can read the connections right there, and I can actually tell you who wins.
Jude.
Yeah, it's not. There's no way that Springtrap. There's basically no way Springtrap wins.
Damn.
I mean, yeah, I mean,
Bondru has
from
all
what
the counters and is even more immortal.
Bondrewd is what Afton wishes he would be.
Oh man, when you first hear about layers of immortality, man, your head just goes for a loop.
Uh,
I can
is it
explain
like an
how
onion?
Bondru does it.
No, I get the concept of layers of immortality. It's just the first time you hear about that concept, it's hard to come to terms with.
Yeah, you know how Bondru does it though, right? I think I've mentioned it
You
before.
might have, but you may as well say it here for the video. And I
Okay,
kind of
so
don't
he
remember.
relic. He used this relic that I can't remember the name of
Right?
to split his soul into multiple bodies called the Ultra Arms or something like that.
So he pulled a
So
Voldemort.
whenever he dies, his body would get, his consciousness basically would go to the next body.
So he pulled a Voldemort / Ultron.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder how he'll fare against someone like Herbert West or something.
Well, if his Spragmos is similar to Reg's Incinerator, then pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well,
But have you read the connections?
yes, they seem quite good.
So where would this place on the Springtrap tier list?
I think it's a good alt for me. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I'd
don't
probably
know
put it in the alt
much
tier.
about.
I think Springtrap just
I
has those main 4 matchups that for us just
Springtrap is like
are on
one of
top.
those. Springtrap is like the DreamWorks of matchup ideas. It's either a hit or a miss. This one's definitely a hit.
Springtrap is just one of those characters that just has so many options.
Remember Springtrap versus Dio?
That's one.
Pepper
Yeah.
Carnes, remember?
That's a good one. Really good one.
My favorite for Springtrap will always be the man in the suit.
That's
Oh
also
yeah,
another
I
really good
think I
one.
made that one. I think I don't know. I can't call it early.
What?
I think I possibly made that one, but I can't say for sure. Maybe someone else made that one first.
Alright,
Maybe.
I
well,
haven't
I
really been.
think that's us done for this bonus episode. A lot shorter
How long have we
than
been recording?
maybe about an hour, 40 minutes.
Okay.
So it might end up cutting down to 25, maybe 30.
Yeah, we were rambling quite a bit.
Oh yeah, gonna have to cut out the yappening.
I will have to cut out a Fitbit, which I'll probably do over the weekend. Right then, here we are at the end. And do we save the announcement Gilded for next time, or
Save it for the finale.
yeah, that makes sense.
So, anything else to say?
I don't think so. I guess thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time, where we go over the 32 matchups from the tournament itself and rank them in a tier list for everybody to just disagree with our choices.
Possibly set fire to our houses, and burn our crops, and poison our water supply.
Yes, all of the above.
We're gonna be recording the tier list at Nuke's exact address.
We are
Yeah.
going to be recording the tier list underneath a bunker. Trust us, we know where it's at.
We're gonna be recording underneath Darimia's house
Oh God.
and then dox it.
Uh,
So if you don't hear us after this, we're probably on the run.
probably. Anyway, again, thanks everyone for watching. We hope you've enjoyed. We hope you're enjoying these. We're certainly having fun making them.
Yep.
Yep.